I first spoke to Missy in September of 2007. I was sitting in my car, getting up the nerve to call her. I just received a diagnosis that my daughter had Smith-Magenis syndrome. I was given Missy's number, and I was desperate to talk to anyone who knew anything about it. Over months, our relationship blossomed, and we have done some incredible things together.
Our girls are both 8 years old, so our journey is so similar. We just shared everything, all of our fears, everything we were concerned about, everything we were dreading that we would hear. We'd ask each other questions that we couldn't answer. And as time went on, we just kept having more and more questions that didn't have answers. Every conversation that we encountered outside of each other
What were we supposed to
sounded
do?
really hopeless. It sounded like this is it. It was just a definition, and it was like, and that's it. This is what your life is going to look like, and that's it. And there is no answer. And so our questions were always, how can we make it better?
We read the last article that said, this is the way it's going to be. They're going to be toddlers for life. There are really no, known treatment options at this time. And I think we finally got to a point where we were done accepting that. We were done accepting that as the answer. And we had come across another article in all of our reading that Dr. Sarah Elsey had, really discovered that the RAI1 protein was kind of responsible for a lot of the symptoms and the issues that come up with SMS.
I'm Dr. Sarah Elsey, and I'm Associate Professor at Baylor College of Medicine. I've been studying Smith-Magenis syndrome for almost 20 years. Most individuals with Smith-Magenis syndrome have a deletion on chromosome 17. That deletion typically encompasses about 80 genes. As we narrowed down to this critical set of genes, we decided to start sequencing those genes in these individuals who looked like they had Smith-Magenis syndrome. The first 3 individuals we sequenced, we found mutations in a gene called RAI1. We know now, after many years of work, that really is the primary gene that causes Smith-Magenis syndrome and causes most of the features of the disorder, and has really been the primary focus of our work. I found Smith-Magenis syndrome to be a really unique, complex disorder, and one that I felt that we could find an answer. And that was really the reason that I wanted to pursue this disorder. I found the primary issue in this disorder, there's not enough functional RAI1. And we need to understand why not having enough RAI1 really causes all of these problems. And so if we can understand what's happening downstream, maybe we can intervene. Our long-term goal is to improve quality of life of individuals with Smith-Magenis syndrome.
So then we met Susan and Paul Diamond, who have a little boy who's 9 years old, the same age as our girls. And they live all the way over in Los Angeles, California.
I'm over in Connecticut.
And we're in South Florida. So a friendship formed, and we became very close to them and realized that they share a passion for research just like us. So we naturally brought them on board.
So my son Jeremy has Smith-Magenis syndrome. Having him as a son is obviously, as I think every parent would say, the most incredible thing, but it's very much a different path than we had anticipated. You think about having children and you think about all the optimistic things in life, and having a child with Smith-Magenis is adversity. It's hard to be a kid with SMS. So if we can do anything to find answers to help him, to help other families and other kids down the road, that's an amazing gift that we've been given to be able to try and contribute towards that. So being part of the foundation is just something we see as a responsibility and something that we could not possibly have any other way.
We looked around and nobody else was raising money specifically for research. There was money being given to help raise awareness, to bring families together, but there was not a single place where money could be given to that really supported research in SMS, so we came together and decided that we would start our own. I think one of the most important things you can give families is hope. The SMS Research Foundation gives families some hope for the future, that there is something coming in time, but down the line, we won't be such a small and rare disorder. We'll have done some great work.
So far, I mean, we're only 4 years old.
4 years old.
And we've given 2 $50,000 grants, and last year Jen and I flew out to Texas to the Baylor College of Medicine.
Very exciting.
And presented a check to Dr. Sarah Elsey and Dr. James Lebsky for $100,000. And it's the beginning of the SMS initiative, which is basically a 5-year commitment to their lab to focus on the RAI1 and get us to where we need to be.
It felt like we came so far from the beginning of where we had started, and it was a great feeling. And if we can do that in 4 years, it's who knows what we can do 4 more and 4 more after that.
We know exactly what needs to be done. We've identified the root cause of SMS. We have the perfect researchers in place.
And at this point, we need funding. That is the most important thing we need right now, and we need you to help us get there. In 2010, when we formed the Smith-Magenis Research Foundation, we were excited for many reasons, but mainly because we were the only organization that dedicated 100% of its funds to SMS research. And our goal is to bring hope to families, and we want to make a brighter future for individuals with SMS. Please join us today.